What we're going to look at really right now has a lot to do with something that we're going to be doing later on, but I just want to introduce you to the interface itself here with the timeline. So while we're talking about that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce this. Again, we're actually going to use it more later, and you'll understand a little more what it's about and what, how useful it is. This tracks section right here, if we click on this, you're going to see a list of several different kinds of tracks. Okay, we have markers track, caption track, our audio track, zoom and pan, lots of different tracks here. The purpose of this is because we have different things that can be going on at the same time in Camtasia. For example, I might have a video playing, and then on top of that video I might have a call out pop out. And we put the call out on a separate track just so that we can manage it separately. So placing that object, that call out, on a separate track helps us manage it easier. Now, the way this works, it's really very simple. If there is a check mark beside the track, then that track is visible. So right now, we only have a check mark by Audio 1 track, and that's this track right here. So right now, we have Audio 1, and that's the audio portion of our video clip. And I believe I mentioned briefly before, we have a video track here, and you'll notice there is no option for the video track here. In other words, we can't turn it off. That's because always you have to have the video track. Okay, you have to have at least one. Now we have some other video tracks like picture-in-picture that we can turn on in addition to this, but you have to have at least the one. I'm going to turn on, let's do Audio 2, and what that gives us is now we have the ability to have a second audio file in our video, and that audio file would appear right here. Now what that might be would be maybe a music score or some sound effects or an interview, other kinds of dialogue, any other kinds of audio content that would appear here. Now let's click and drag this section as much as we can, just so you can see a little bit more really what's going on here. So now we have a video track, we have an audio track that contains audio for that video, and you'll see that they're linked together here. And then we have a separate audio track called Audio 2. Now if we wanted to turn that track off, we could just click again, and now that's not visible. Now I should say that's not really turning the track off per se, that's just making it where you can't see it, because if I was, for example, to go to the callouts track, and callouts is something we'll deal with later, but let me go ahead and just quickly add a callout. I'll just add this arrow, click OK. And now I've got this callout added. Again, we're going to get into callouts later on, but I just want to demonstrate something for you. When I click the drop down here and I turn callouts off, all that does is hide it. Okay, because if I was to click tracks again and turn callouts back on, that information is still there. That callout is still there. So turning those tracks, hiding them, unchecking them, does not turn them off. It just hides them so that they're not taking up space. Let's go ahead and delete this. I'll just hit the delete key there, and then we'll turn that track off again, and we'll resize. Okay, so that's the tracks button. Again, we place different elements on different tracks so that we can manage them separately. One thing I will mention before we move on is that when you have all those different elements on different tracks, whether you've got multiple video, different audio tracks, whenever we actually produce our video, whenever we are done editing and we say, okay, let's make our movie now, then Camtasia is going to combine all of those elements, and all we'll end up with is a single file with one video track and one audio track with all of those different tracks merged in together.